It was a cold winter's morning on the island of Sodor. The wind was bitter on the ground, hard with frost. Thomas and Percy were cold and cross. "All I want is a warm boiler," huffed Thomas. "Firelighter knows that. He's late." "He's not late," replied Percy. "This cold weather woke us up early." Gusts of wind swirled flakes of snow towards Thomas. Then they swooshed round Percy too. "Why don't we talk about something else?" shivered Percy. "Yes, like how silly we look when our funnels turn into icicles." "That's not funny." "Maybe we'll stop feeling cold if we talk about warm things like sunshine and steam." "And firelighters," muttered Thomas. "Scarves," continued Percy. "Scarves? That's what you need, Percy. A woolly scarf round your funnel." Thomas was only teasing, but Percy thought happily about scarves until the firelighter came. The Fat Controller was enjoying hot porridge for breakfast. He was looking forward to taking important visitors on a tour of the railway and had pressed his special trousers. "I shall put them in my trunk and change into them just before the photographs are taken," he said to his wife. Then he set off to catch his train. Percy was now working hard. His fire was burning nicely and he had plenty of steam. But he still thought about scarves. He saw them everywhere he went. "My funnel's cold, my funnel's cold," he puffed. "I want a scarf, I want a scarf." "Rubbish, Percy," said Henry. "Engines don't wear scarves." "Engines with proper funnels do," replied Percy. "You've only got a small one." Before Henry could answer, Percy puffed away. Henry snorted. He was looking forward to pulling the special train. It was time for the photographs. Everyone was excited. The Fat Controller was waiting on the platform for his trousers. They were in a trunk amongst a big load of baggage. The porters were taking the baggage trolley across the line. They were walking backwards to see that nothing fell off. Percy was still being cheeky. His driver always shut off steam just outside the station. Percy wanted to surprise the coaches by coming in as quietly as he could. But the porters didn't hear him either. Boxes and bags burst everywhere. "Oh!" groaned Percy. Sticky streams of jam trickled down Percy's face. A top hat hung on his lamp iron. Worst of all, a pair of trousers coiled lovingly round his funnel. Everyone was very angry. The Fat Controller seized the top hat. "Mine," he said. "Percy, look at this." "Yes, sir, I am, sir." "My best trousers, too." "Yes, sir. Please, sir." "We must pay the passengers for their spoiled clothes, and my trousers are ruined. I hope this will teach you not to play tricks with the coaches." Percy went off to the yard. He felt very silly. On the way, he met James. "Hello, Percy, so you found a scarf, eh? But legs go in trousers, not funnels." And he puffed away to tell Henry the news. That evening, Thomas and Percy were resting in the shed. Percy's driver had taken away the trousers and given Percy a good rub down. "Firelighters promised to come early tomorrow," said Thomas. Henry arrived. He'd enjoyed taking the visitors around, and now he felt sorry for Percy too. "Driver says the weather will be warmer tomorrow. You won't need a scarf, Percy." "Certainly not," replied Percy. "Engines don't need scarves. Engines need warm boilers. Everyone knows that."
If someday you should see Thomas the Tank Engine puffing happily along the line, he may be on his way to a village nestled deep in the heart of the island of Sodor. One December morning, Thomas whistled to all his friends. "It's nearly Christmas, and I'll bring you lots of letters and parcels." But a week later, the storms came. The island was covered with thick snow. The engines found work difficult. Some had to help clear snow from the track, and workmen hacked away at the frozen banks of ice. Thomas and Percy were collecting important post for Christmas. "Driver said there's lots of post for the village," said Thomas. "I'll need an extra truck for it all." Percy was feeling left out. "It's not fair. You're not leaving any post for me." But Percy's chance had come. "There's been a change of plan," said Thomas's driver. "The Fat Controller needs us at the big station. Percy, you are to take Thomas's train to the village." Percy was delighted, but Thomas was sad. "I won't be able to say Happy Christmas to all my friends." "Don't worry," said Percy kindly. "I'll do it for you." "It's not the same," sighed Thomas. Percy was making good time on his way to the village when suddenly... "What's that?" called his driver. There ahead was a fogman by the line. He was holding a red light. "The village is cut off by snow," he shouted. "We need snowplows, workmen and a helicopter. Leave your trucks in the sidings and go back quickly." Percy was soon steaming to Harold's airfield. "Beep, beep," whistled Percy. "Wake up, lazy wings. The mountain villagers need your help. They're stranded." "Whiz-ow," replied Harold. "I like an emergency to keep me warm." And he buzzed away. "Now," sighed Percy, "what's next?" Suddenly, there was Thomas with Terence the tractor and a works train. "Come on, Percy," whistled Thomas. "Follow me." The two engines battled their way through the snow. At last, they reached the village. Harold was already there, busily dropping food to people and animals. Terence quickly got to work. "Lovely stuff," he said as he pushed the snow aside. "Well done, Percy. Well done, Thomas," cheered the villagers. "You're the best Santa Claus this village has ever had." "What's a Santa Claus?" asked Percy. "Santa Claus is someone who drops presents down chimneys at Christmas time." Percy looked at his funnel. "I wonder if..." "No," laughed Thomas. "Chimneys, Percy, not funnels. Which reminds me, your post train is still back in the siding, isn't it?" Percy hurried back to fetch it. Just then, Toby arrived with Henrietta. "We've brought lots of hot drinks and food for the villagers," he whistled. That night, all the engines had gone back to their sheds except Toby. The villagers had made a plan to thank the engines. They loaded paint pots and parcels into Henrietta, then they set off through the moonlit countryside. All the engines were fast asleep in the sheds as Toby ran silently into the yards. He had no idea what the villagers were going to do, but he knew it was going to be a big surprise. When the engines woke the next morning, they could not believe their eyes. The sheds had been repainted and decorated. Parcels lay everywhere. The engines whistled in delight, and everyone agreed that it was really a happy Christmas.